Okay, hold on. This feels very familiar. I've definitely been here before. Déjà vu. Everyone has experienced it at some point in their lives. You probably felt it, that sudden eerie sense of familiarity, like you've already lived through a moment. You know what I'm talking about. What is really going on inside your brain when this happens? Let's break it down. Déjà vu is a French term that literally translates to already seen. It's that weird feeling you get when you're experiencing something new, but it feels like you've done it before. It's like your brain gets a glitch and is sure it's been there even though it hasn't. But it's not like you've traveled to the past or you're living in a simulation. Nope, it's all in your brain. Your memory systems are just getting a little mixed up. Now the real mystery is, why does it happen? Why do we get this sense of familiarity for no reason? Researchers believe that déjà vu occurs when there's a bit of a mismatch in the way your brain processes new experiences and memories. Your brain has two systems for processing information, short-term and long-term memory. Normally, these systems work together, but in a déjà vu moment, it's like your brain thinks in a new experience is an old memory, and it creates the weird "I've been here before" feeling. So what exactly in the brain is happening? Well, the temporal lobe is the real culprit. It's the part of the brain responsible for processing memories, emotions, and even sounds. And the parohippocampal gyrus, which also helps with memory. When something feels familiar, it's likely because these regions are misfiring. Think of the hippocampus like the file clerk in your brain, sorting through your memories, but sometimes the file clerk gets a little mixed up and pulls out an old file while you're trying to make a new one. There you go, déjà vu. You feel like you've already lived that moment. It's also important to know that memory is not perfect. In fact, it's super malleable, and that's part of why déjà vu happens. Our brains aren't always as precise as we'd like them to be. In fact, sometimes we think we've experienced something when we haven't because our brain confuses a new experience with an old one. Okay, so scientists may not be 100% sure why déjà vu happens. Basically, your brain is constantly firing electrical signals, sending information back and forth between regions. Sometimes those signals might get crossed, and that's when déjà vu strikes. Another theory suggests that déjà vu might have something to do with partial familiarity. Your brain might notice something familiar about the environment, maybe a color or a sound, and that small trigger makes the whole experience feel like a replay. So when you experience déjà vu, your brain is working overtime. There's a little glitch in the system, signals get mixed up, your memory systems overlap, and there you go, you're hit with that feeling of familiarity.